Come, Nerevar. Come and take a seat, for I shall bestow upon you the wisdom to swiftly rise in the ranks of your skills in Skyrim. Why settle for mediocrity when you can become a legendary combatant mage or assassin? Nay, even master all of them. But worry not. I shall not inundate you with an exhaustive list for each skill. Instead, I shall present the best options for each, alongside some valuable tips. Let the knowledge flow. First and foremost, for maximum efficiency, complete the Lost to the Ages quest and create the Ethereal Crown. This marvelous artifact allows you to gain both the Warrior, Mage, or Thief Stone and the Lover Stone effects, granting you a staggering 35% boost when raising their respective skills. This, my dear Nerevar, is of utmost importance. Let us commence with the magic schools, for mastering them should be of paramount importance. Casting higher-level spells generally leads to faster skill increases. Additionally, regenerate magicka effects prove invaluable in reducing downtimes during training. It is even possible to reduce or eliminate the magicka cost of spells by stacking fortify effects, mind you. This can and will also affect other skills such as smithing and alchemy. For alteration training, the Paralyze spell is your perfect ally. By reducing magicka cost to 0 using enchanted items, dual casting Paralyze on an enemy can level you up at an astonishing rate. Some might consider it game-breaking, but who are we to shy away from such power? To maximize your alteration experience, cast the Detect Life spell in cities, and the more living objects it detects, the better. The bustling markets in walled cities, particularly Riften, Whiterun, and Windhelm, are prime locations. Later in the day, the inns of these cities become equally fruitful, and once the Civil War concludes, the Blue Palace or the Palace of the Kings will be teeming with exiled Jarls and their loyal allies, providing ample targets for your spell. And by holding an object in the air with telekinesis without picking it up grants significant experience, but beware if the suspended object touches any NPC, for they shall become hostile. Furthermore, if you manage to achieve a total of 100% magicka reduction cost and fast travel while holding an object, the game will reward you with the experience as if you had been casting the spell for the entire duration of the journey. The route between Riften and Markarth offers the most substantial experience gains for this method. To expedite your journey towards mastery in Conjuration, acquire the spellbound weapon and venture forth to engage in combat. Mud crabs of all creatures prove to be ideal opponents for this endeavor. Cast the spell, either with 1 or 2 hands, and as soon as you hear the sound that follows the spell launch, cancel it. This way, you avoid waiting for the weapons to fully materialize and can immediately repeat the process. A marvelous trick, isn't it? Another effective method for conjuration skill growth involves repeatedly casting high-duration, low magicka conjuration spells during combat. Engage in fights, and while in the midst of battle, cast your spells frequently to quickly boost your skill. Note that Bound Sword and Bound Dagger offer over 4 times the skill XP of the Bound Bow. A prime location for this method is the Tumble Arch Pass Giant Camp. As the giants are often provoked before their accompanying mammoths, you can dispose of the giant first. Then, provoke the mammoth and climb the southwest slope near 3 mammoth cheeses. The mammoth will not be able to follow you uphill, leaving you free to cast thrall spells without hindrance. Additionally, wearing enchanted apparel that restores magicka or reduces the cost of conjuration spells will prove beneficial. The mammoth's considerable health ensures it won't perish easily, providing ample opportunity for your thrall to attack between your casts. You can also use the restoration spell Heal Other on the mammoth for additional restoration XP. While slightly complex, with this approach, you can swiftly advance from level 15 to 100 in mere minutes. Now let us turn our attention to the Art of Destruction. Unlike other skills, Destruction XP is reduced on higher difficulties. However, XP gain reaches its maximum on Adept difficulty, and it does not increase further on lower settings. To optimize your XP gain, play on Adept difficulty, avoiding XP reduction while leaving enemies with as much HP as possible to allow for more spell castings. The XP gain for the Destruction skill is dependent on the base magicka cost of the spell and remains unaffected by damage boosts, such as potions or perks. Dual casting, unfortunately, does not provide extra XP and only yields the same XP as one-handed casting. To maximize your leveling speed, refrain from dual casting whenever possible. In your quest to level destruction, you must cast spells on valid targets. You can exploit this by casting spells on essential targets that will not turn hostile. Several such targets include Shadowmere, Hadvar or Ralof during Unbound, the Reekling Chief during the Chief of Thirsk Hall, Esbern before a cornered rat, Parthenax before starting his quest, the legendary Maik the Liar, Ancano before the conclusion of revealing the unseen, your own conjured creatures, and even the unfortunate torture victims in Dawnstar Sanctuary. Oh, the choices that lie before you, Nerevar. Enchanting is a rather straightforward skill, and there are limited ways to speed up its advancement beyond the methods I mentioned earlier. Disenchanting items, while it provides skill increases, can be highly variable, dependent on the effect learned and the magnitude on the item. Apparel effects generally grant larger increases than weapon effects. However, do keep in mind that only one item per effect may ever be disenchanted. To gain small to moderate skill increases in enchanting, you can recharge enchanted weapons using soul gems. The size of the soul used determines the amount of experience gained. Oddly enough, it does not matter how many charges remain on the weapon. For a more convenient way to train, consider using Azura's Star or the Black Star, along with a weapon enchanted with a soul trap effect. This way, you can train by recharging the weapon after every kill without the need to worry about carrying an abundance of soul gems. Now let us turn our attention to the fascinating school of illusion. If you seek to quickly level up your illusion skill, repeatedly casting Muffle on yourself will do the trick, even in the absence of enemies. A simple yet effective method, wouldn't you say? However, if you have reset your illusion skill after learning the master-level spells, a more powerful approach awaits. Cast Harmony repeatedly in a densely populated area, such as the bustling streets of Whiterun, and watch your illusion skill soar. The number of NPCs affected by the spell directly correlates to the speed of your leveling. With this method, you can skyrocket from level 15 to 100 in under 30 seconds. Astounding, isn't it? Now, as for restoration, do keep in mind that leveling through healing requires tending to actual damage on yourself or others. Unlike in previous games, you cannot simply cast healing spells on yourself and others to gain experience. To aid you in this endeavor, venture outside High Hrothgar, where a magical wind blows and deals damage to those who stand near it. Casting a healing spell while in the path of this light beam in Kilcreath Ruins, under the statue to Meridia, and utilizing the Atronach perk or the Atronach stone effect will grant you experience in restoration without using magicka or risking your life. The light beam inflicts minimal damage and restores a significant amount of magicka, allowing for safe and efficient training. Alternatively, if you prefer a different approach, siding with the Volkihar vampires in the Dawnguard questline will grant you the opportunity to repeatedly cast Turn Undead on Deathhounds without turning them hostile or causing them to flee. Archery is a straightforward skill, for its gains are based on the damage dealt to valid targets. Optimum proficiency in archery is achieved by selecting the best available ammunition and the bow with the highest DPS. It's so simple that even a farm tool could understand it. Next is block, a skill equally self-explanatory. To improve your block skill, you must block with either a weapon or a shield. Naturally, blocking with a shield will yield more experience than doing so with a weapon, but utilizing bashes with your shield also contributes to skill progression. Enchantments, potions, spells, and skill perks that increase the percentage of damage blocked will enhance the XP gained per block, providing an additional incentive to bolster your defenses. As we continue our journey through the realm of combat skills, we encounter one-handed and two-handed. The path to mastering these skills lies in selecting a weapon that inflicts the highest base damage in a given time period. Unlike block, damage-boosting skill perks, equipment enchantments, or weapon improvements do not result in more XP per strike. What's more, that would mean fewer hits, hence less XP per encounter. Take note, the difficulty setting also follows this rule. For optimal skill gains, consider wielding a Dragonbone dagger in your left hand and a Dragonbone mace in your right hand. Engage in a dual-wield simultaneous non-power attack, with the dagger in the left hand dictating the striking speed of the attack. By combining this technique with the dual flurry perks, you can further enhance the XP gained per second. Incorporating the increased attack speed of the Elemental Fury Shout will yield the highest XP per second achievable. And should you seek to level your two-handed skill, the Dragonborn Battle Axe stands as the best option. In the base game, Daedric Battle Axes, Volendrung, or Wuthrad are equally commendable choices. Ah, Nerevar, you have now arrived at the Forge of Smithing, a skill that demands perseverance and dedication. To excel in this craft, you must craft equipment non-stop, for it is through continuous practice that true mastery is achieved. The largest overall skill increases come from crafting items at forges, but improving items at workbenches or grindstones offers skill increases based on the value added to the item, much akin to crafting. It is a complementary method that further refines your skills in the forge's embrace. However, do take note that smelting items at a smelter and tanning hides do not grant skill increases. Focus instead on the art of forging and improving to ascend your abilities. In your journey towards mastery, crafting gold or silver jewelry emerges as a swift and efficient path to level up smithing without the need for perk investment. With Hearthfire installed, crafting 10 nails yields the same XP as an iron dagger, yet spares you the necessity of using leather strips. Similarly, with Dawnguard installed, crafting iron arrows proves an effective method to level up smithing at lower levels. A stack of 24 iron arrows grants almost as much XP per ore as a gold ring, and you need not learn Transmute to embark on this path. If you have obtained the Dwarven Smithing perk, Dwarven arrows offer even greater benefits. My advice, Nerevar, is to seize anything Dwemer you encounter in your travels that isn't bolted to the ground, for they hold the potential to further hone your smithing skills. Now let us turn our attention to the armor skills, both light and heavy. The gains in these skills are tied to incoming damage, and tougher enemies serve to advance your armor skill more swiftly. Interestingly, methods that improve armor rating, such as smithing, skill enchantments, spells, potions, or shouts, have no adverse effect on the XP gained, and irrespective of your armor rating, you shall receive the same experience. Should you choose to wear multiple armor items simultaneously, you will find that the XP gained for that type of armor increases. To expedite your training, I recommend engaging in combat with 2 giants, a formidable challenge that grants quick XP gains. However, do take heed, and ensure your health reaches at least 300 to endure this rigorous training. Ah, the art of alchemy, a delicate dance with nature's essence and a path to both knowledge and riches. In the realm of alchemy, experience gains are directly proportional to the gold cost of the potion being brewed. Therefore, anything that enhances this cost will likewise increase your XP gain. As you embark on your potion-making journey, consider starting by brewing whatever you can when you can. An easy way to begin is to purchase every item except the most expensive from an alchemist, brew potions with the ingredients, and then sell the potions back to the alchemist. This technique proves especially useful at Arcadia's Cauldron in Whiterun, as it allows you to obtain alchemy training from Arcadia herself. In your quest for alchemical excellence, Giant's Toe emerges as the single most valuable ingredient for training alchemy, boasting the highest multiplier for any potion it is used to create with a Fortify health effect. The Hearthfire add-on further enriches your alchemical pursuits with player homes featuring gardens and a fishery, enabling you to cultivate your own ingredients. Among these new additions, Salmon Roe stands as the most potion-valuable ingredient, elevating your alchemy experience and income to new heights. By growing ingredients in the garden and greenhouse, you can fashion potent potions with greater reliability. Creep Cluster, Mora Tapinella, and Scaly Foliota combine to produce the highest experience and profits. In the greenhouse, allocating 13 plots to Mora Tapinella and 8 to each of the other 2 ingredients yields 39 potions, ensuring minimum profits of staggering 15,000 gold. With the garden alone, 5 plots assigned to Mora Tapinella and 3 to each of the other 2 ingredients yield 15 potions and a minimum profit of 5,800 gold. A true alchemist's paradise awaits you, Nerevar, within the confines of your garden and greenhouse. Now we arrive at Lockpicking and Pickpocket, skills that require no tricks or secrets. Simply pick any lock you find and steal anything in sight while under the influence of any XP buff, and that's it. If this was a tier list, even their way to level it up would go into the F tier. Oh, the secrets of the stealthy arts unveil before us, and we shall master them with finesse. In the realm of sneak attacks, the greatest skill increases come from successful melee sneak attacks, which offer more than 10 times the XP of ranged sneak attacks. The amount remains constant per sneak attack and does not depend on the damage dealt. To swiftly gain XP, release the Calm spell in your left hand immediately after a sneak attack with your right hand. This tactic allows for rapid skill progression without inflicting lethal damage. Trolls, with their health regeneration, serve as excellent targets for training. However, if your target lacks natural regeneration, you must either heal them with a spell or patiently wait for their health to recover. Now, for practicing your sneak attacks, you shall find a plethora of good dummies to hone your skills, such as the ones I mentioned for destruction. Conjured creatures, especially Dremora lords, make for worthy training partners, for they always appear facing away from you and rarely turn around without significant provocation. Additionally, the Greybeards, engaged in prayer, offer an easy challenge, albeit a controversial one, as stabbing a kneeling old Noir would raise more than one question. And the last one, speech, the skill of the mongrel dogs of the Empire. Surely no one is interested in this one. But if you must know, Nerevar, just sell expensive items one by one and you'll be fine. Or if you are feeling more talkative, you can also persuade an NPC, exit their dialogue and repeat in, for example, the Black Star and buy Dwarven artifact. With this, we conclude our journey through the realm of leveling skills in Skyrim. As you contemplate the knowledge shared in this sacred discourse, honor the Sixth House and the Tribe Unmourned, and inscribe your thoughts upon the parchment below. To my esteemed patrons, Connor Runda, Tanya Davis, unoriginal username, Janelle Rambo, and Silky Johnson, I extend my deepest gratitude for their contributions to this blessed sermon.